Hello and welcome to TNT Extreme Wrestling. My name's Simon Hill and today I'm joined by the TNT Women's Champion, Lizzy Evo. Lizzy, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Before we get started, I just want to do a quick recap, for fans and people around the world watching. Now, you are the TNT Women's Champion. You captured that title from Casey Owens at Merseyside Massacre, who held that championship for an impressive 595 days. Now, although your plans on being the number one champion in TNT are being put on pause right now, how are you feeling?
Considering the whole lockdown, pandemic, stuff like that hit, I feel like it's given me time to find who I am as a champion, find who I am as a person, and where I want to go. So I feel like I've spent this time focusing on my goals, getting in shape, getting my mind where it needs to be. And I feel like I'm at the right time now. So when wrestling does finally come back, I can just go ahead with it and be even better than I was before, because I know I'm capable of so much and I'm capable of going so many places. But this time off has just allowed me to realize so much more. So I feel when TNT shows come back and we're able to wrestle again, it's going to be completely different to what people saw me before, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to that night where you captured the title, a lot of skeptics, a lot of critics out there have voiced their opinions, some of them claiming that you had help from Medusa Complex to win that championship. How do you respond to those critics?
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it a million times again. Like, I didn't ask for help that night. I was more than capable of getting it done on my own. Um, it was nice to get the help. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful and stuff, but I don't want anyone to think or feel like I need to have help to get my job done, because I never have and I never will. I'm me, and I do everything by myself. So just them coming out to help me was, it says more about them than me, maybe. They're good people for doing that, but I didn't need that help.
And did you feel, because of that, that you needed to prove not just to the critics and the fans, but to yourself that you
Yeah.
didn't need that help, because you then offered Millie McKenzie and Charlie Evans a title shot at Project X in a triple threat match, which, at some point it did look bad for you, but you managed to hold your own.
Yeah, well, after I read a few comments online saying that I needed the help from them, I wouldn't have been able to beat Casey without them and stuff. I felt like I needed to prove myself and prove a point to everyone. So that was why I challenged the two of them to the triple threat match, because I believe in myself and I believe that if I set my mind to something, I'll accomplish it. So I knew offering them to a championship match, that would be the biggest step since becoming the champion, because I'm defending against two of the best girls that wrestle over here, you know what I mean? So everyone looks at them and talks about them online. So I just wanted to prove that, like, I can compete up there with them and I'm just as good as them. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I just proved that I don't need anyone's help and that I can get by on my own, because I won the match. So
And you are the TNT Women's Champion for a reason, aren't you, Lizzie?
I am. I sure am. I sure am.
Now, recently, I'm not sure if you had time to watch, but I interviewed TNT Extreme Wrestling General Manager Kid Lykos.
Yeah.
He announced an all-women's weekender, including Siren's Fury, and the first ever TNT Women's Deathmatch Tournament, Total Carnage. What are your thoughts hearing those announcements, and how do you intend to make an impact?
Well, being the TNT Women's Champion leaves me high on the pedestal. So everyone who comes into the promotion wants to wrestle me because they want what I've got. So I'm more than ready to step out my comfort zone and face any challenges that I haven't before, like a death match for me. I've never done one. I never thought I would do one, but it seems interesting enough to me now, and I feel like I do have points to prove, and I want to come out and I want to do stuff I've never done before, because we can only try, you know. And I have full confidence in myself that when I do wrestle and wrestling a death match, that I'll come out even better than I went in.
And I'm sure we're all dying to know how Lizzy Evo intends to represent the women's division at TNT. You know, how do you see yourself as leading the women's locker room?
You know, I just want everyone who comes to work for TNT, and including all females in the locker room, I want everyone to feel safe, of course, and comfortable there. But I also want to let them know that it's my time. Like that's my place. So if you're coming in here and you want a point to prove, then you've got to step up, because I've stepped up my game now. I'm ready to face big challenges, and I don't need little competitors.
Big words from the TNT Extreme Women's Champion there. And we talk about that. We move on to your next opponent, which has been confirmed as Miss Main Event, Alexis Falcon. What are your thoughts on Alexis?
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I respect her on a level of humans and a level of wrestling, but when it comes to actually wrestling with me, I don't think she's in my league at all. No. I feel like she's she's good. She's got everything that you need. She's got the abilities, the talent, the character, the attitude. She's an all-round amazing person, but she's not Lizzy Evo.
And how do you intend to approach that match with Alexis, knowing that Alexis, you know, she's very high energy, she's high octane, she's fast paced and very methodical. How does Lizzy Evo approach that match?
Well, I've been working on, like, during lockdown, and when we could get to the gym and stuff. I've been getting like little MMA sessions in, one-to-one MMA sessions, like private classes. So I've been behind the scenes stepping up my game and stuff. So when I come back to wrestling, it's going to be a totally different like mindset, and no one's going to see what I'm like, because I've never been like that before. So I don't think she's going to expect it, like what I'm going to be wrestling like, what I'm going to bring. So I'm hoping everyone thinks it's going to be the same as what it was, because it's not, and everyone's going to get a terrible shock.
So we haven't seen the best of Lizzy Evo just yet.
No, definitely not.
Fantastic. Well, the TNT Extreme Women's Champion is raring to go as soon as shows come back. Lizzy Evo, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
No problem. Thank you for having me on. I've had fun.
Thank you.